Hey, welcome back. On this next video, we're going to talk about what a vision is and why it matters. Let's go back in time a little to review one of the most audacious visions in recent history. Back in 1962, President John Fitzgerald Kennedy in the US gave a speech about why the USA was going to invest in space exploration and committed to putting a man on the moon by the end of the 60s. The speech went like this.
For we meet in an hour of change and challenge, in a decade of hope and fear, in an age of both knowledge and ignorance. The greater our knowledge increases, the greater our ignorance unfolds. Despite the striking fact that most of the scientists that the world has ever known are alive and working today, the vast stretches of the unknown and the unanswered and the unfinished still far outstrip our collective comprehension. There is no strife, no prejudice, no national conflict in outer space as yet. Its hazards are hostile to us all. Its conquest deserves the best of all mankind, and its opportunity for peaceful cooperation may never come again. But why, some say, the moon? Why choose this as our goal? And they may well ask, why climb the highest mountain? Why 35 years ago fly the Atlantic? We choose to go to the moon. We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard. Because that goal will serve to organize and measure the best of our energies and skills. Because that challenge is one that we're willing to accept, one we are unwilling to postpone, and one we intend to win.
Whoa, powerful stuff, isn't it? In this, one of the most memorable speeches ever, Kennedy made it clear what his vision was for what was called then the space race. In his view, going to the moon was just a vehicle, a means to develop the necessary technology and the know-how to continue to drive human progress forward. And space was the next frontier of human development, having already conquered land and sea. Putting a man on the moon focused the efforts of NASA during the 60s until the famous Apollo 11 moon landing on the 21st of July 1969. Now, the story goes that if during that decade you were to ask anybody at NASA what the job was, they would not reply cleaning toilets or making food, but to put a man on the moon. And this is what a clear and compelling vision can do for you in your coaching. And also for those around you, be it the children or their families. Vision gives people purpose and direction. For you as a coach, it offers clarity about what you want to achieve, why, and allows us to start thinking about the how. So let's break all these down, shall we? What is a vision? A vision describes exactly what it is that we wish to see in the future. It's a bit like having a crystal ball. You look into it and see a picture of what you want the future to look like. This picture of the future is your ultimate goal, and it is the fundamental starting point. Your vision will drive your strategy, your roadmap to success, and any subsequent planning that you are going to use to get you there. In The Wizard of Oz, Glinda, the good witch, says to poor Dorothy, "It's always best to start at the beginning, and all you do is follow the yellow brick road." A vision is kind of both beginning and end. It's the end because it shows you where you want to go, your destination. But it is also the beginning because it should be underpinned by a clear motivation, a compelling why. Why do you coach? Why do we want children to do sport? This is clearly linked to the areas we explored in Chapter 2, the notion of values and beliefs, what we called your coaching philosophy. Your vision must start with the why and finish with the what. Once we've worked out the why and the what, we can then worry about the how. Now, the power of the why cannot be underestimated. The famous German philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche put it very eloquently when he said, those who have a why to live for can bear almost anyhow. A powerful why, like Kennedy's idea of driving human knowledge forward, acts as a motivator to strive and a bit of a safety net or buffer during the difficult times. If we can always go back to the fundamental reason why we do what we do and what that will look like when we get there, it is a lot easier to bounce back from disappointment or to ride the ups and downs of life. So effective visions not only state the ultimate goal, but do so in a compelling way. Have a look at these 3 different vision statements for the imaginary Neptune Swimming Club and think about which one inspires you the most. So for example, the Neptune Swimming Club vision is a club where children of all ages and their families lead a healthy lifestyle through swimming regardless of their level of ability. But it could also go like this. Talented swimmers fulfill their Olympic dreams. Or what about this one? Everyone can feel part of a big family and where members develop a positive outlook and gain useful life skills beyond swimming that help them thrive beyond the boundaries of the club and sport. The truth is that any of these vision statements may appeal to you for a different reason. It really depends on the context of your club and, like we've said multiple times, your own values and beliefs. 2 key learning points here are, first, your vision must be aligned with your values and beliefs. If Neptunes say they want to help children and their families lead a healthy lifestyle regardless of ability, but then they only pay attention to the talented swimmers because what they really value deep down is success and medals, we have a problem. And second, your vision has to be written in a way that people around you buy into it, because it helps them see what they are working towards. Use powerful words, words that mean something to people. Paint pictures that people can imagine in their mind. Help them imagine a future that is worth working for. The more compelling a vision is, the more likely it is to drive action and commitment. Remember that. Now, is it all about alignment with values and beliefs and how compelling the vision is? Not really. There is a few more things we must consider when developing our vision. For instance, while compelling and challenging, effective visions must be realistic and achievable. I imagine that before announcing to the world that they were going to put a man on the moon, by the end of the 60s, Kennedy consulted with the guys at NASA to see if that was actually possible. I can't really imagine him just coming up with this idea over breakfast on the same day he made the speech, right? So make sure your vision is challenging, but not unrealistic. And this is why you may want to consider the time frame for your vision. For a children's sport club or a team, a vision spanning 3 to 5 years may be more than enough, as it is much easier to think about what we would like to see in that time than in a much longer time span. It may be even shorter. Another area to consider is the fact that buying into the vision will not only come from how compelling the vision is, but also from the degree to which the players, the families, coaches, and any other relevant people in the club feel they own that vision. Now, it isn't always possible or even desirable to involve everyone at the club in the development of a vision, but a certain element of consultation, or at the very least, clear communication of the vision is very important, because that way parents can decide if this is the right club or team for their kids. So vision statements must be embraced and protected by all, or they just become empty words on a poster, on a wall, or on a car sticker. Again, key to this embracing is ensuring that philosophy of the club and the vision are clearly aligned, that coaches really understand what these are and check these also align with their own values and beliefs, and that the parents and their kids have a chance to explore if they are happy with what the club and the coach say they are about. And if they're not, they go somewhere else. But there is another very important quality of good vision statements. They act as a compass for all within a club or a team. They allow us to take a step back and consider our actions in light of the overall goal. They make the process of checking and challenging what we do as coaches much easier. They also facilitate the decision-making process. Whenever we are unsure about something, it is always good to take it back to the basics and ask yourself questions like this. What are we trying to achieve long term? Does doing this help us towards that goal? Is this decision really in line with our vision and philosophy? Okay, so over to you. We're going to ask you to do two things. First, please watch this short presentation by Simon Sinek about the power of asking yourself the why question. Simon's TED Talk has been watched millions of times online and has provided inspiration to leaders in many fields, from education to business to sport. We hope you will enjoy it too. And second, after you've watched Simon's talk, please review your personal philosophy statement, your values and beliefs from Chapter 2, and start writing a draft vision statement for your team or your club. Remember to consider the why, then imagine what the what would look like. We will continue to work on this draft after the next section. If you need to review anything, just remember you can rewatch the video or download the student guide. Well, that's all for this section. Please don't forget to have a look at the videos, and I will see you on the other side.